Besides the grip, ball position may have the biggest influence on the ball flight than any other component in the golf swing. Ball position is probably one of the most overlooked and misunderstood fundamentals in golf. There's two reasons why the ball position has such a big influence. The first one is the ball position has an influence on the club face position. For example, if you slice the ball and you have the ball placement too far back in your stance, that would be an unsynchronized fundamental. And the reason behind that is when we get the ball too far back in our stance, the club face does not have enough time to close. The club is still coming down from the inside, and the ball or the club face hasn't had time to square up. The face is still open. Whereas if I get the ball a little further forward in my stance, now my club is coming down, still open, squaring up, traveling along the target, and may also be closing and giving us more time to square that club face. So if you slice the ball, you'll probably find that having the ball position a little bit more forward in your stance. One word of caution when getting the ball position further forward in your stance is it's very easy for us to get our shoulders open. So to keep that in mind. If, however, you hook the ball, you'll find that getting the ball placement a little bit further back will allow the club face less time to close. So by having the ball position back, your club is still swinging down the line, and now you can match the club face closing later than it would be if you had it further forward. If you draw the ball, you'll fight a club face that's closing too soon, and by having it forward, the club face would already be closed. So if we get a little further back in our stance, now we hit the ball before the club face is closed. So if you slice the ball by getting the ball placement a little bit further forward, giving the face more time to square up, if you hook the ball, moving it back slightly in your stance, giving the club face less time to close. The second key component to ball position is going to be the angle of approach at what we hit the ball, which is going to have an influence based both on distance and trajectory. If you get the ball too far forward or forward in your stance, we will now hit the ball while the club is swinging either level or slightly on the way up. Notice here my club is coming down, still coming down, traveling level or slightly downward, and we're going to hit the ball a more level blow or less downward than it would be if it were further back. By getting it further back in our stance now the club is going to come in on its way down, striking the ball earlier while it's still on the way down. And what will happen is that's going to control our trajectory. If you hit the ball too high, it could be because your ball position is too far forward and you're hanging back and trying to lift the ball into the air. The opposite side of the spectrum would be if we get the ball too far back, now we're catching the ball too much on the way down, and because my handle position is so far ahead of the ball at address, now the ball's coming out too low. So match your ball placement up with the trajectory you want to hit. If you want to hit it lower, play it back further, allowing you to hit down on the ball a little more. If you need to hit it a little higher, provided the lie is good, by getting it a little further forward, now it will allow us to hit a more level hit on the ball and hitting the ball at a higher trajectory. Match your ball position with your club face alignment and also your angle of approach, and I know it'll help you control your loft of the trajectory of the shot and also a component to control the curve.